Hi guys, guess who is back? Okay, guess who has showed up here? I present. So as many of you know, it a lot has happened this year, a lot. But I decided to do something. They've been asking me, Choma, what are you going to do? Woman, what would you do? I'm like, I don't have any plans. So a couple of minutes ago, I decided to come up with some question and answer for documentation purposes. Yeah, it might not be content that you enjoy, and that's fine. I'm going to come back to it in a couple of years, or my children are going to discover it, and I'm going to see how I'm feeling now, because I've noticed with a human brain, in terms of remembrance, sometimes you remember something in a way you'd rather it played out, not in the way it actually happened. So I don't want none of that. I want to know exactly how I'm feeling at the eve to my 31st birthday. So I'm recording a Q&A. It's a monologue because it's just me. I had hoped someone would be here, but I'm here. Yeah, so I'm going to do a Q&A, talk about some of my feelings and what have you. Thank you so much for sticking with me. If you're going to stay to the end of this video, God bless you as usual. As some of you already know, on Father's Day on June 16th 2024, my dad gave his last breaths on planet Earth, and I envy him, not in a suicidal way. Stay with me. I envy him because he's free from some things that bother us, like currently the national grid has collapsed for the 225th time in this year. Okay, I'm exaggerating that number, but the national grid has been collapsing a lot. And I remember my dad saying, because he was a system operator, he worked on this national grid in question, and he'd always tell me about the system collapse and how at his prime, if you were on duty and the system collapsed, you could lose your job for that mistake. And how they would avert something like that from happening, but he's dead. So I mean, everything I've got to blame is everything. So I envy him because he doesn't have to face none of the rubbish that we're facing. That's one. Secondly, Nigeria is in the current state of Nigeria. $1 is almost at 1,800. $1, it's 1,000, almost 1,800, 1,700 and something. I don't know in particular. So I don't know when I'm going to rewatch these videos, so that's why I'm mentioning these things. They are worthy of notes, because maybe when I'm watching it, $1 is now 3K. I don't know. I can only hope for the best, right? But the worst keeps happening. Anyway, fast forward in today's video, I'm going to share 7 questions more, so to speak. I'm going to be sharing 7 questions, and I'm going to be answering them reflectively. Yeah, I hope I don't cry. What are some of the most cherished memories that I have with my dad, and how have they helped shape my understanding of love and loss today? Okay, the earliest memory I have of my dad is we're doing assignments together. I think I was in primary school, and like I mentioned earlier, he works for National Grid, NEPA, before NEPA, PHCN and all of that. It was there all through it. It's currently called TCN. But at the time, he will go to work. He has night duties, he has day. I think at some point there was morning, afternoon and night shift. But I always saw him present, even when he wasn't in the state where we are. I never felt his absence in any way, shape or form. Like, I always felt my dad was present, he was available. So we'll do assignments together. And till today, there's one that he said, I don't know how I can teach you this thing. It's like you don't want to learn it. That's quadratic equations. That's the only thing that my father taught me that I couldn't learn. Maybe he told me that he's not very good at quadratic himself. He does algebras more. See, today I don't know all those ones, what they do, but yeah, those were my memories. Like, would exchange knowledge. He would always tell me stuff. I would always ask him questions. He would always share everything he knows about it. Like, I never stop asking him questions. I never stop. So those are my earliest memories. And how has it shaped my meaning of love? Love to me means, God, I'm teary. I don't want to cry. That's why I have my glasses on. But in case I do, hey, love to me means being there, being present, and giving yourself, right? I also remember if I asked my dad for money, he wasn't so rich, you know. He was comfortable. I grew up comfortable. But he would tell me, then we stayed at Shiroro and there was no bank there. I don't think there's still any bank there. He'd go to me now. He'd tell me, okay, I have off tomorrow or next tomorrow or whenever he had off, I'm going to send it to you. See, I can take that thing he said to the bank and cash it. Like, he love to me is when somebody says they are going to do something, they do it. Like, it does not matter if there was a tornado, a storm. If my dad said he was going to do something for you, he was going to do it. If he couldn't do it, however, he'd say he couldn't do it, so you know from the jump. Like, consistency, that's what love means to me. Dedication, presence, being there. And then loss, I don't think I can fully explain what loss is, because as we speak I'm still trying to process, understand what has happened. I have a lot of questions that I would ask him. Like, I didn't fathom him passing this early. I mean, he was young, he was in the 60s, 64. I didn't fathom it, but hey, I guess that's taught me that life happens and it can come at you fast. I think I've mentioned that on this channel when I lost my friend last year, but this has reaffirmed my understanding of what I said then, that life can come at you really quickly. So if you love, go for it. If you love somebody, don't follow the norm of, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that, or that same pain or something. Just show your love to your loved ones. Number two, in what ways has my dad influenced, shaped the person I am becoming, and how can I honor his memory as I continue to grow? So for those who know me closely, they have said that I have a lot of masculine energy. Like, I'm very feminine. Like, my physique is very, very feminine, like squishy and all that. But into my thought process, the way I reason, the way I behave, the way I take decisions is masculine. So at my birthday last year, I remember saying that I wanted to bloom into my femininity. Yeah, I wanted to become a feminine woman and all of those yada yada. But hey, life came at me hard and there was no time to just sit with my emotions. There was no time for that. Yeah, I had to be who I was born to be, right? So that's a whole lot of another conversation entirely. Feminine, masculine, that's a whole lot of conversation, but it's not something I'm going to delve into now. But my dad's influence over me taught me to think quickly on my feet. There is no problem that is difficult to someone. From electrical problems, with being hands-on, yeah, was fully influenced by my dad. There's nothing I can take on. There is literally nothing I can't take. There is nothing. I don't want to cast myself, so to speak, but I do a lot of very handsy things. So, and I got all of that from my dad. I remember when I was really small, as a toddler, I had like this one or a vest that had daddy's helper. So my dad would tell me, "You've been my helper right from time immemorial. Let's go and do this thing." So see, having testers, screwdrivers, pliers, it's just been my forte. Like, and that's one of my dad's influence. Um, what does this birthday mean to me in the context of my grief, and how can I find a balance between celebrating my life and acknowledging my loss? This birthday obviously is the first one I'm having without a father. You know, I've always empathized with people who lost their parents, their loved ones, their significant other, and all of that, but I hadn't experienced it yet. However, this time around I'm experiencing it firsthand, and what I can say is I'm here, right? If I had a say in my existence, if I had a say, I wouldn't choose to come, because this world can be tiring. But I don't. And God is not foolish. God is all knowing, all wise. He has brought me here. There's a purpose, you know. I'm just living and living that purpose out, you know. So there was a point in my life that I didn't really want to celebrate birthdays. I had a different thought about it. But I think at my 25th birthday, I broke the jinx and decided that every birthday I was going to do something significant, right? And I have been trying my best since then, you know. But this year, I didn't do anything. Nothing could come to me quickly, and the whole of last week I was enveloped in my grief. I didn't want to. I wasn't looking forward to this day or to tomorrow. But hey, I just realized or remembered that I own my feelings, so I control them and they don't control me, and that is one of the reasons why I'm doing this today. So yeah, it just means that I will celebrate the woman I am. Yeah, I like to think I'm a girl. I like to believe I'm forever going to be a daddy's girl till I die. Like till I go old and gray, I'm forever going to be my daddy's girl. But I've evolved as a woman, you know. My femininity in the way I thought it would be wasn't what I experienced, but I understood it from a different angle. Yes, my understanding of life has changed, my perspective has changed a lot, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that I'll celebrate me. Yeah, I've come so far. God has brought me so far, but I celebrate his hand on my life, you know, the thoughts behind my mom and my dad meeting and me forming that's an original, that's classic. I celebrate that. I forever celebrate that. If I can, every year I would like to do something in honor of my birthday, you know, something tangible, something I can look back on, you know, maybe intangible, but something I can look back on, not necessarily about me, but just, you know, celebration and all of that. What lessons did my dad teach me that I want to carry forward into this new year of my life? My dad taught me a lot of lessons, but the one that I would want to carry forward is always have somebody that you respect that can talk to you. A man, a woman that does not have anybody they look up to is no man. He spoke it in Igbo. I can't remember it verbatim, but it translates to, you should never come to a point where you're so full of yourself that you believe nobody can talk to you. You know, there should always be somebody you listen to, you respect, and would obey, and that's what makes you a full human being. I haven't fully come to understand why he said that or why he says that. I won't lie to you. I cannot go lie for you. But I think I want to go with that lesson. Yes, I want to go with that lesson. I want to remain humble, because he was humble to the core. I mean, in his memorial, when people were writing their tributes, they said some realistic stuff and it wasn't made up. Like, even if I paid people to do, they couldn't have written from the depths of their heart. So I like to live a life that is honorable and worthy of mention in that manner. How can I create new traditions or rituals that honor my dad while also allowing me to embrace my own journey? So this is an inside joke, but on our birthdays, he usually sings happy birthday in a tune. I mean, he attended Methodist church growing up, so they always used to hum their hymn before they actually sang it. So every time he wanted to sing hymns, he would always give the tune of the hymn. Like on the hill, far away, like for instance, he wants to sing Old Rugged Cross. You know, it's he was going and we found it funny. I mean, most churches these days, most modern churches do not sing him and what have you, but he honored his own thing. So for each birthday, he would hum birthday song for us as a family. We laughed, we made fun of it, right? You know, I think I'll continue to sing that, yeah, for my children. They should get ready for me. What are my hopes and dreams for this coming year, and how can I incorporate my dad's memory into those aspirations? My hopes and dreams are to be better. They've always been my hopes and dreams, obviously, but I have bigger. That's my problem. I set very high goals. I have high expectations of myself, and then what tends to happen is when they fall short, I beat myself up badly. But my dad wasn't that kind of person. He was more of a realist. He 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 was satisfied with little, right? Sometimes he'll say something like, you're becoming too ambitious, and I'm like, if you live where I live in this Nigeria. But yeah, I think I want to set more realistic goals, smaller goals that I know I can meet in every area of my life. Like I took a courses this year, but I didn't pull through with all of them. But I want to be able to pull through with some of those courses, maybe. But I want to pace myself, and I want to do it in a way that it will not affect me badly if I don't come through with it. Yeah. Then finally, in moments of sadness, what brings me comfort, and how can I seek out those sources of solace on this day? If I'm being honest, a couple of things bring me comfort. But God is my number one. The Holy Spirit is a comforter. I don't know if you know of him. As much as I try to I try to pretend like I'm cool, I'm a Jesus girl. I cannot pretend on that one. I love the Lord a lot. Like he's the bane of my existence. I believe in him. He has shown me who he is. He has, like, we have a working relationship, so I know who he is. The Holy Spirit has been my number one source of comfort from the moment I learned of my dad's passing. I heard the Holy Spirit very clearly, and he has been supporting me to doing the burial. There was a lot too. I can't say all of that. I really don't want to remember some of the things that were said to me, because if I remember them, it's not going to be good for those that said it. It's not. I'm going to come for them. And my dad is not that kind of person. He believes in forgive and forget. I personally don't, you know. But hey, anyway, the Lord is working in me and through me for that last statement I made, because I know some of you are going to come for me. But hey, Holy Spirit comforts me a lot. My friend, my family, my sister, that girl is like my best friend. Oh God, I can't emphasize it enough. Like there are times I have a breakdown, like severe. I can't breathe. I can't, and I can't seem to find my inhaler. I can't help myself, and I call her. She comes, and yeah, my mom, she's amazing. My mom is amazing. Like we don't see eye to eye on most things, but she's been a solid support system, a very solid, like, oh God, I don't know what she's going through, but I promised I wasn't going to cry. But I pray every day that the Holy Spirit comforts her, because that guy was her best friend, was her husband. You know, my parents showed me what love should be. I don't want anything short of it. They loved each other. Anything that is not, I don't want, you get. So my family, my friends, they've been my source of comfort at this period. Guys, we have come to the end of this video because I don't want it to be messy. But thank you guys for watching. I hope to be more consistent going forward. I hope. I'd like you to say a prayer for me. If you watch this to the end, drop the prayers in the comment section. I hope that a year from now, when I'm watching this or when I see this later in life, that I am comforted. You know, I know the pain will never go away, but I just hope I'm in a better place emotionally, mentally, you know, spiritually, physically, and everything. Thank you so much. I love you.